Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode, and it is so great to be here with you. We've got breaking news in the Ghislaine Maxwell story. She has pled not guilty. We have a lot of information to share with you about what took place just moments ago, and we'll share that with you all on this episode of the podcast. Plus, Epstein's house is being demolished. Trump and LeBron getting into it. The Derek Chauvin case. Disney making news today. We'll talk about that. Governor Caitlyn Jenner. Start getting used to how that sounds. And we're coming off of our 420 show, so we will do a 420 recap on this episode. Brought to you by...
I don't know if I'm fully recovered, by the way.
I know. Our good pals over at Hero Soap Company. Link in the description below. Want to thank them for sponsoring. More on them in a second. And we'll also be giving away our sync thing on this episode. You have to be subscribed, though, to know what we're talking about for that. So if this is your first time watching, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, especially if you're listening on Apple Podcast. Make sure you rate and review. So Frankie C., for the first time since all of this started, since she was arrested for the first time, Ghislaine Maxwell appeared in court today.
She did.
We saw her go in. She pled not guilty, obviously. We knew that was coming.
Tell the people why I'm not looking at the camera and I'm not being rude.
He's not being rude. So we wanted to, obviously a big part of this was here comes Ghislaine. It's her first appearance in court. We're going to see what she looks like. A lot of the theories out there are that they don't really have her in custody because we've never seen a photograph of her. There were no cameras allowed in the courtroom, so only those aren't stenographers, right? Artists, yeah. So artists' renderings were the only thing that we were able to get. So that being the case, that I wanted to be able to share that with you guys, I noticed that these are copyright images, so I couldn't really put them on the screen, but I'll show you. There's Ghislaine in court. This is from Reuters. We'll credit Reuters on this. This is newsworthy, so we can put it up. There she is right there in court. But as you see the little Reuters thing on the bottom corner of the screen, and I apologize to those that are listening. This is more of a visual. It's there, so we can't necessarily reproduce it. I mean, technically we could use it as newsworthy, but we'd have to pay them. But we happen to have one of the greatest artists of our time on the show here, and that's Frankie C. So literally 30 to 45 seconds before we started this episode, I said, Frank, why don't you draw? Can you draw this?
Like an animal, I'm going here.
And this is nice with chalk and everything, and there's colors, and, we'll talk about all the details. Don't push me around, damn it. We're going to get into everything. Ghislaine has gray hair now. She has long hair, which is not what we're used to seeing her in. All the images of her have that short hair that she's, be known for. So obviously her hair is grown out. She's got some, gray in there, obviously not taking care of herself too much. But there's a lot to get to, and we'll unpack all of that, of course. But, I said we have to have our own sort of thing. So, Frank, can you draw this for us? And, Frank, what do you have? What is your...
So I literally had, 2 minutes to do this?
That's being generous.
All right.
Let's see what you came up with. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. You have to come see this. I can't believe you just produced that with just a pen. You sicken me how talented you are.
This pen, that's all.
That's actually really good.
Oh my God!
Right?
That's 2 minutes. Give me an hour, and I'll come up.
Yeah, we'll let you finish it up. All right.
I'm not as good as the moment.
Wow, that's really good. You are hammered right now.
I am.
Hammered.
No, this is just cranberry juice and lime.
Sure it is.
That's all I'm drinking.
Yep.
I'm telling you. So there you go. I don't know why I had to draw that since you showed the picture.
Well, I could show it. I was going to literally put it on the screen. People wonder why we don't put some of the video or the audio literally in, and it's copyright issues. So there you go. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Head's a little big, but whatever.
Jesus Christ, you're talented.
Thank you.
It actually upsets me greatly.
I'm sorry.
I'm mad now.
Yeah, look at how all the progress I've made with my talent.
How are you only here?
Look at me cashing in on it.
Yeah. Really going to waste. You should be in a courtroom somewhere drawing,
I should do that.
psychopaths.
I wonder what the market is for that. Like, is there a big calling for that?
Probably not.
Like, do news outlets hire them, or does the court hire them? Are they employees, or are they self-employed? Who the hell knows?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's just an artist who would rather be drawing something else, but this probably pays a couple bucks, and so they do it. Anyway,
Sure.
let's get to Ghislaine. So she pled not guilty today. We've talked about the new charges that came up, right? We can go back to an old episode. We'll put links on the YouTube cards for those that are watching. So those were added to the indictment 3 weeks ago. She pled not guilty as we expected. She's been in prison this entire time. A lot of people are making a big to-do over the gray hair. There was no.
She's how old? She's in her 50s, right?
59. She's 59.
She's gonna have gray hair. That's
Yeah.
You're not dyeing your hair anymore, so gray hair is what you get.
By the way, I have more photos to share, so everybody hang tight. There were no signs of hair loss, which her lawyers claimed was happening. It looks like she had a full head of hair. This, as I said, was the first appearance after 9 months of being in the Brooklyn Detention Center. She was wearing a white mask with a blue prison-issue top and trousers. Her sister, Isabel, was there. We do have photographs of her. Her husband, Scott Borgerson, did not appear. Which
That's
is
strange.
Right. Very interesting, because he was one of the people that was going to be putting up the 28 million. I forget how much it was now, but 28, 35 million, whatever.
Maybe he was busy.
He was going to be putting that up as bail. Yeah, maybe he right? Maybe he had something to do.
It's something more important to do.
But her sister was there. We have photographs of the sister, and she arrived in a padlock black sedan. So we got a bunch of photos of the sedan coming in. It was like a Dodge Caravan,
Which I feel is very strange. I mean, it's literally a van with padlocks.
Yeah.
On the doors.
If you're listening, if you're a loyal listener, thank you. But this again is another episode to tune into on YouTube or Facebook.
Right at the top of the door, towards the hood, there's padlocks. Which, I mean, I feel like regular locks should, right there, got it. I mean, what is that padlock doing that a regular lock?
This is oops, we screwed up the last time locks. That's what that is.
I guess. I mean, you're not getting out of the back of a cop car. I mean, they don't have padlocks.
True, very true. But this doesn't look like a traditional cop car. This is a Dodge Caravan. Yeah. It's actually like a minivan. It's a Dodge Caravan.
I hear it. Why can't they transport him in one of those prison trucks? Those trucks like they transported Two-Face in, those box trucks that you sit on a bench in the back.
Are you referencing a Batman movie? Is that your
I'm
favorite
referencing my only frame of reference for transportation vehicles in law enforcement comes from the movies. What do you want from me?
The people that were so blown away by your drawing and were wondering why you're here on this show instead of doing something else are now
Hopefully they tuned out before I said what I said.
They're now going, oh, now I understand. Now I get it.
I mean, when you pair some kind of talent with this brain, it doesn't really work.
So here's another shot. This is from the AP. The first one was from Reuters. Frank, hold up yours again. I think yours is better. I can't imagine if I gave you the whole damn day to do it I
wonder how long it takes them to do this.
I wonder too. I'm not looking in the comments, but I would imagine people are probably still upset that they didn't get a actual photograph of her.
Yeah, I mean they have to bring her, unless they went into like some sort of garage. They have to get her out of the car and bring her into the courtroom.
Yeah.
I don't know why a picture couldn't have been snapped at that point.
Well, again, here's what I'll say to that you can't risk somebody taking a shot. Exactly. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't. I'm sure the people that were in charge of getting her in and out today probably are not thrilled that people are showing, photographs of the actual van as well. So
yeah, that's true.
I think that it's a security thing, and I know again it's people are not going to be happy about it that they didn't get an actual photo of her, but
They're just gonna have to.
it is
You
what
know,
it, yeah.
yeah, it's not as important to get a photo.
Well, here's my point. The AP drew something, Reuters drew something. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about a grand conspiracy of all conspiracies that the free media, court bailiffs, witnesses, family members. You know what I'm saying? There were actual victims there, which I'll talk about in a moment. So they saw her. Okay, so she's there. You know what I'm saying? Like
I could see the conspiracy theorists going. They saw someone that looked like her.
Yeah, right. But a victim. I get what you're saying, Frank. But a victim, like there was a victim in attendance, so it's like
Well,
I'm sure.
You know what? Even if it's someone that looked like her and they got a photo, we're not. No one else is gonna be. We're not gonna be able to figure it out. If the victims who were there,
Yeah.
you know, if it's not her, and the victims who are there can't recognize that, then we're certainly not gonna be able to tell.
There's her sister, who wore a mask, covered herself up, wore a beret, put a hood over her head as well. She obviously clearly doesn't want, her face to be seen. You could see.
Well, I mean, wearing a mask, I mean, and a hat, that doesn't mean you have to wear a mask.
I know, but she's clearly covering herself up. She doesn't want to be. She doesn't want to be seen. This is Danielle.
Wonder how they knew it was her.
Huh?
Wonder how they knew it was her.
This is Danielle Bensky, an Epstein victim, and she was in court today. So there you go. You can see her in one shot there, and there's another.
I'm surprised that they were allowed to take pictures of the victims.
Yeah. Well, I guess she spoke. So, she spoke afterwards. She said, "To be honest, I was too afraid to come to the Epstein trial. So this is a new feeling for me to sit here and accept a lot of things. I do think it's hard to sit through it, the hearing, and it's painful, but it's good too. It's healing." There were only a few dozen people allowed in the courtroom, 24B of the Manhattan Federal Court, due to COVID restrictions. Among them were David Boies and Sigrid McCauley, lawyers who represent the second of four Maxwell accusers. So there's a couple of the accusers' lawyers who spoke afterwards. I would play audio for you, but it's a lot of boilerplate stuff. We're here, we're hoping for justice and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's not really anything that's groundbreaking. Just seeing them, I think, is enough. So, Maxwell's lawyer, David Marcus, said that her two brothers had tried to come to court from the UK for the hearing, but were unable to come due to COVID restrictions. Other lawyers for Ghislaine Maxwell's on her legal team, Jeff Pagluccia and Laura Menninger, they were also there. As you can see, here's them arriving in court. Again,
those are her lawyers.
Those are her lawyers. So she's got a whole massive team of lawyers.
So what was the purpose of today? Just to enter a plea? Does that mean the trial's begun, or is this is pre-trial? I'm
Great
entering
question.
My plea.
Yeah. Great question. Yes. Yeah. So remember when they added that new charge 3 weeks ago, she had to appear to
just for this one charge.
Just for the one added charge. Correct. All the other ones that had already occurred, during pandemic times.
She already pled to whatever back in the.
Correct. But because here in New York, because of COVID restrictions had been lifted, because there were no court, everything in court was virtual up until I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. And now that it's not anymore, she had to appear. So that's basically why.
Gotcha.
And this is the big gun, Bobby Sternheim, the one, the one of her big lawyers there. That's her leaving the court. She's the one, I believe. I'll double check this. I think she's the one who represented all the
big shots like those.
And yeah. She's okay. That's the one.
I can't imagine that's an easy,
yeah.
gig. Someone's got to represent them, but who the hell would want to?
Yeah. And it's funny is a lot of the. Do you want to hear some audio, Frank? People coming in and out of the court? No, right?
Not really. But God,
There were protesters there, who were making themselves known.
right?
Which is
Now, audio of who? Who are we hearing?
This is people just kind of coming in and out of the court.
Oh, this isn't anybody speaking on a microphone.
This Daily Mail.
Light pole Diane coming up. Will you guys come out and make a comment when we're done today at the microphones?
Probably, but it'll be brief.
All right, thank you.
It's polite.
Again, see, it's nothing like
It's really not much there. Yeah.
yeah,
audio-wise.
nothing terribly exciting. People kind of walking in and out. Here's the protesters. Like one woman put like a huge she put like a big I'll show you the photograph. She put a big thing out like the Epstein is the worst kind of virus.
Yeah.
Pretty standard stuff.
We knew that.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff. The other reason why the in-court thing was because the last couple of times that she did the dial-in, now they're saying, I forget the other guy who does a lot of YouTube videos, but people are always telling me like, oh, did you watch Sean Atwood? I think that's his name. Sean Atwood broadcast last time the hearing. She had like a virtual hearing and like he hijacked it and like put it out, but like every newspaper article was like it was hijacked by QAnon, and I even had a couple of people, they were like, is Sean Atwood QAnon? I don't know. I don't know Sean Atwood for that. I know his channel. I know he's very popular. Sean Atwood is like, a lot of people, especially in the beginning, were comparing us to Sean Atwood. We are not Sean Atwood. Sean Atwood is like
I never heard of him.
Yeah, he's like a true crime guy. He's very true crime.
Some of our comments have referenced him. Yes,
people reference him all the time. That's not what we do. Him and what we do are two completely different things.
No,
very different.
We're a topical conversation type show.
Correct.
That tries to add some humor. He's a true crime.
He's a true crime. In fact, it says on his channel, True Crime Channel.
So he does that. We don't focus on one particular topic. We, as you can see on the right side, on the side of your screen, we jump around from topic to topic.
A little bit of everything, right? And now we're obsessed with this. We're not letting this go.
No, I mean, we're following it along, but we're in no way are we we're not we don't follow other true crime cases unless they're,
unless it's something that's going to be of interest. We're more mainstreamy, like
mainstream, right? We're
grounded. I feel like the true crime people, and there's nothing wrong with true crime stuff. I listen and watch. Yeah,
I watch some of that stuff.
But I would kill myself if that's all I had to, like, that's depressing. I can't imagine.
No, a lot of it. Yeah,
that's hard to do. A lot, to be the only thing that you do like that. That's not for us. So, but anyway, Sean seems like a good dude. I don't know much about him, but I don't know if he's Q or not. I did find it interesting though, because a bunch of people did write me and they were like, "Is this true? Is this?" And I don't know. But anyway, so that's another reason why for the in-person thing. But the main reason was, it's just that restrictions in New York, legal restrictions in New York, the COVID restrictions were lifted. So everybody started going back into courtrooms. So she goes back into courtrooms.
Exactly.
I'm sure we'll get a real legitimate photograph at some point.
I'm sure at least when the trial starts, but that's 3 months away.
Yeah. But the thing is like, she'll be going every day. You know what I'm saying? And people will be more prepared.
Yeah, that's true. People will probably be camped out and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm sure there'll be some TMZ, some talented photographer out there that'll be able to something. Yeah.
Worst case, we'll get some more drawings.
Hold that drawing up one more time, Frank.
I don't understand. I mean, why do they all look exactly the same? Is it the same artist doing every drawing?
I don't know. I mean,
They're all drawn in that like pastel, chalky kind of. You never see someone drawing it with marker or like painting. Nothing. I mean, it's got to be something you could carry with you. I get that, but you never see someone using like pens. They all look. A court drawing looks like a court drawing every time.
yeah, I agree. Agreed. You're right.
It doesn't look like a cartoonist drew it. It looks like the same thing every time.
Maybe you'll be the first court person to draw in a different style. You'll do something different.
I'm going to use Uniball pens.
Yeah. I'd like to see one of those spray paint guys who are always spray painting like planets and universes in Times Square. I'd like to see one of those guys get a crack at it.
That would be cool.
Right? Isn't that amazing?
Can they do people? Like, see, now I always, you see them do like landscapes and celestial things.
Yeah.
Can they do people in a courtroom?
I think it'd be better if they can. It'd be like, this is a great Ghislaine, but she kind of looks like Jupiter. I don't know what's going on.
It's Jupiter in a mask. I don't know.
Basically. Basically. But other than that, it's weird. Relief isn't the word. I don't know, but I feel kind of like she's, not that I was like falling for the conspiracies or whatever, but I kind of feel like it's beginning, like it's starting. Like we didn't get here with Epstein, so it's kind of nice to.
It's moving along. It's slow.
It's progress.
Slower than I guess the general public would like.
Right.
But yeah, it's progress. At least it's moving along a little bit, and we are going to get there. It's just, again, we're a couple of months away, and it's just going to be. We have to be patient, but we'll get there.
Yeah, agreed. And a little bit more on this with Epstein, of course. Let's do our read for Hero Soap. I always like doing these after the Ghislaine stuff because I feel dirty and disgusting.
Yeah.
It makes us feel clean a little bit. Best soap in the world. No parabens, no cancer-causing chemicals, which sometimes can appear in some of those national brands. Hero Soap Company is made with all natural products and aromas right here in the US of A by veterans, and of course for veterans, but for all of us. When you buy a bar of this, they send a bar over to the veterans, and then they go ahead and they take a little bit more money out of their kick.
They send them to active troops.
And yeah, exactly, active troops. And then they, of course, help build homes for veterans. As if the active troop donation wasn't enough, they're helping out the veterans as well.
It's like, what else can we do?
Exactly. Lucas, who started the company, is a veteran himself, and he hand makes all of these by himself, which is extraordinary.
He hand makes them all?
They don't let him sleep. He just making
poor
soap.
Bastard, jeez.
I mean, he might have some help, but for the most part, it's all under his direction. He's running.
Can we get him like an assistant or an Oompa Loompa or something?
Yeah, I would love that. I would love to see if we could get him a couple.
Something. Give him something.
Every company I want to be Willy Wonka's factory. I just want,
That would be great. But the sad fact is you walk in there, you're like, oh, it's a factory.
Yeah, there's all regulations and stuff. But
yeah, I want to be able to eat the grass and drink the river that goes through the middle of my factory.
You know what the thing about the Oompa Loompas is, too? It seems like a situation where they could be there against their will, but they were so happy to be a part of the team, which is nice.
They seemed happy. They're writing and singing songs.
Like if I told you there's a guy making chocolate and he's got an army of little people there working for him, you'd be like, are they okay? Because I feel like we should look in on them. But
not for nothing, but wouldn't the FDA and all everybody have to check the factory for like regulations and stuff?
Yeah, a lot of OSHA violations in that.
Nobody goes in, nobody comes out. That doesn't fly with government regulation. You got to let some people in and out.
Hey, at least when Charlie and his grandfather floated up to the top of the bubble room, they stopped everything to hose it down. And Willy Wonka told us.
Yeah, they did have to sanitize that whole place.
That's true.
Yeah, but what about the chocolate river when the kid fell in and he's drinking out of it?
That's a different story. That I can't speak for, but I know that room was sanitized.
I mean, that kid could have peed in there for all we know.
I bet you he did or she did. I forget which one fell in there.
He did. Augustus.
Anywho, that's Hero Soap Company. You can get a subscription. They will literally send soap to your home every single month, however much you want. And you can save 20% off by using the promo code Anthony. Go check that out right now.
That's awfully nice of them.
Hero Soap Company. Use the link in the description of this episode. Doesn't matter if you're watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube. By the way, make sure you hit that like button.
Hit the like.
Or if you're listening on your favorite podcast network, go in the description and ye shall find the link for Hero Soap Company.
It is there.
Let us bring in our demolition expert. Nobody tears it down better than J Sabs. Here she is.
Blowing things up, baby.
No one.
Blow it up for us.
Blowing it down, blowing it up, whichever way it has to get blown. I'm sorry, Janine. That's
What?
completely unnecessary.
But
That's the line.
Inappropriate.
oh my God, you're only on the second topic.
Man, what a glowing endorsement.
Oh God.
Epstein. We're talking about Janine in the 420 recap. Epstein. The demolition has begun on his.
God, that's a hard word for you to say.
Is this the 420 episode?
Yeah, exactly.
Today, Junior, they're demolitioning the Florida.
Demolishing?
Demolitioning? Is that not a word?
It's not a word.
I'm gonna eat it in the
Demolish.
comments for that.
Yeah. Demolitioning. That's no good.
Demolitioning. Anyway,
You
they're
know,
tearing
like
down.
there's certain words that you think that's how it's said, and then when you hear someone else say it, you're like, "Fuck, I gotta
Like
remember that for
conversate?
next time." Yeah, you gotta I gotta remember that for next time.
Yeah,
This is how you say it.
Conversate's not a word either.
it's even worse when that happens to you and hundreds of thousands of people see it, and then you can't.
Or our show.
Shut up. To this
Right.
day,
100.
to this day, shows that we did like years ago. I'll just get like a thing of people being like, what was the thing when we were talking about Ghislaine wearing like paper clothes? It was like anti-suicide clothes. We were like, what is that? Like to this day, people would be like, it's paper, idiot. And like, I'll be like the grocery store and get a notification on my phone, be like, paper clothes, moron. It's like, oh yeah, that's.
Do you laugh then?
Yeah, I think it's hysterical.
Okay.
I think it's hysterical.
Funny now.
Now.
I think if we learned anything about me or this show, you guys, it's that we're not hard up on getting it all right. Like it's
That's
so,
what she said.
like we're
Definitely not.
Maybe-
I'm not definitely hard.
Maybe you're
on
not.
getting it right.
I'm just saying like mistakes are gonna happen.
No, it's me too.
Oh, yeah.
Mispronunciations are gonna occur.
Definitely. Good
Anyway-
use of mispronunciation.
It's great that they're demolitioning this house,
Nope.
but I can't help but think the guy who bought it is a developer. His name is Todd Michael Glazer. Great name. Sounds like a serial killer though, because he's got the 3 names.
Yeah.
Definitely
Todd
sounds
Glazer.
white.
Yeah, here's what I don't love. He like released a statement. He's like, "Oh, we knew we had to take this down." It's like,
okay, come on.
thank you. Shut the fuck. You bought basically a $60 million home for like $18 million. You're going to turn a huge profit. Stop being out there being like, we're doing God's work out here. You know, we had to take it down.
God's work. Okay.
Yeah.
Did he say we're doing God's work?
He didn't say that, but the way he said
She
this,
might as well have.
right. The way he made the statement is like, we knew we had to get rid of this. You know, it was important.
Well,
It's like
what did you want him to say?
nothing. He should have just
Don't say
said
anything,
nothing.
right?
Someone
Just-
probably
just-
asked him. Did someone ask him, or did he come out and say, let's get some cameras, I want to talk to people? I bet they went up to him and said, you know, what's going on with this place? You bought it, and now you're demolishing it. Well, we knew we had to demolish it. We're not going to... I mean, you'd say the same thing if you bought the place. When you knew we had to knock it down.
Yeah, I know, but I just feel
Do
like
you have to knock it down?
I would
don't
just-
know.
yeah.
Especially if you buy it for 18 million, for 60 million. I don't know. It's
You
probably
bought it-
old anyway.
$18 million plot of land is what they bought.
it just bugs me because we all know he didn't buy it out of the kindness of his heart to tear it down and erase
No.
what it represents. He bought it because he's going to turn a massive profit off of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Watch this guy build like a homeless shelter. And I want you to
Yeah,
come
okay.
on to this show. I
Yeah,
want you to come on
Frank,
this
have
show.
you never been burned by
apologize.
anyone?
in the
Have you never been burned by anyone? I don't think you have.
Outside of this show? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
in the
I
middle
don't
of
think so.
in the middle of Palm Beach, you think they probably kept homeless shelters out of the bad areas that surround Palm Beach. These rich people. That's
Probably.
how.
Well, homeless shelter, abuse shelter. It could be anything. You don't know.
All right. I'll tell you what, Frank. I'll tell you what. The day that
Probably
happens,
not gonna be that, but I'm just saying.
I will come. Yeah, I will come on this show and apologize to Mr. Glazer.
Ew, David.
I mean, right off the bat, the guy tries to say the right thing, and you jump down his throat.
I know. I'm a terrible
What if we
human
said,
being.
well, we didn't want to demolish it, but everybody was up our ass about it? You know, then you'd be like, oh, look at this guy. He doesn't want to demolish it.
It would have been more refreshing if he was like, I jumped on a horrific situation to turn a huge profit. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure he would have. No matter what.
I mean,
the
just
guy
tell the
said,
truth, right?
It's
No
the
matter what
truth.
the guy said, you were jumping down his throat.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
That's my hot take. LeBron and Trump. Look, we got the Trump marker back on the
Wow, that's
there it is.
surprising.
Leaderboard.
It's so weird.
All right, so what happened here? I heard about this. LeBron tweeted something, and then he took it down because he was embarrassed, and then Trump
No, he wasn't
jumped-
embarrassed. I don't think it was because he was embarrassed. I think because people jumped on him.
Yeah.
He tweeted, I don't know to whom he tweeted or about whom he tweeted, but he said, "You're next," referring to the Chauvin, Derek Chauvin case. But he tweeted, "You're next," about, I don't know who the other person was.
It was another cop who shot
another cop,
Right. He shot somebody else. There was a white cop who shot
Well, it first started because, was it the Raiders?
Micaiah Bryant. Thank you. I'm sorry, Janine. What?
It first started, I think, because maybe this is a totally different story too. The Raiders tweeted, "We can breathe," and then LeBron tweeted to them, like, "Are you kidding me?" He said something like he got mad at them.
Who
for
tweeted
writing
that? Who tweeted that?
I think the Raiders did.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes.
Okay. The
Not to be
professional,
confused with the Rangers.
the professional football team. For those who don't
Right.
know, yeah,
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly what I meant.
So LeBron got mad at them for doing that.
Yeah, and he wrote something, and I believe he took down that tweet too.
Wow.
And then it escalated into this, and people were like, you can't say that. Like, you're next. Like, just the way he wrote it. He might have written something else too.
Is that bad that the Raiders tweeted that? I feel like that's like a
People did not like that.
They didn't like it.
Well,
No.
obviously for obvious reasons, I feel. No.
Well, but I mean, like, I get that, like, they finally had their day. I understand the reference of being like, oh, we finally can breathe.
But
They meant it obviously in a good way.
Right.
They
I'm
did,
sure they did. However,
but people did not like that.
yeah, being that the phrase was "I can't breathe,"
Right.
From George Floyd. I mean, that's, and now saying "I can breathe," it still doesn't. It doesn't mean that he could. So can he? He can't still.
I know, but I feel.
They weren't the only people to say that though. There were other people saying that, and that's
Yeah,
wasn't
no, I'm
really-
sure whoever
yeah.
said it was not saying it to be mean in any way. I'm sure they were trying to show some kind of support. It just came out the wrong way, and
That's what it sounds
people
like to
jumped
me.
on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So you gotta always. I always try to consider the source whenever something comes out, and you gotta go. Did this person mean something bad?
Right, but that
by
gets
it? No.
that gets tricky too, because it's like,
It's a tweet, so you don't know how it's like a text message. You know?
No,
Yeah.
I know.
How did
True.
this person mean this?
And what
Yeah,
if
but the person for the most part?
what if there's I mean, what if all the players got together and they and there's black, white, right? And what if they got
Exactly,
together and
that's
were
what I'm
like, hey, this would be a great thing. Yeah, say this, put this out. We want this out on our thing, and then they put it out, and you're like, what the hell,
Exactly. It could be, if you wrote that, I'd be like, well, I know Anthony. He wouldn't say anything negative in a negative
Why are you
way
lying?
like that.
Why are you lying?
He would, but maybe not this.
Unless you put a couple of drinks in me, and then the racial slurs start flying.
Wait, what are you both drinking? What are you drinking? Tea, fam?
Mm-mm.
What?
Water. I'm just drinking water.
No, you drink it out of a mug like that?
Well, when I'm trying to sell the mug to people, yeah, that's.
Oh, I guess.
What are you,
you,
David
new?
Letterman?
I know, right?
Put your water in a mug?
How about you make me an Anthony on air wine glass and I'll drink wine out of it, okay?
I'll
Ooh,
see
let's
if we
do
can
that.
do that. I'll see if we can do that. We do have the wine glass shirts, though. I can do that. It's all
That's
on
right.
all on the shop. ShopAnthonyOnAir.com.
So I don't know. So then I think LeBron James is he's funny, but he's a little much sometimes.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I didn't even necessarily take this all that offensive. I didn't take this as, I just feel like the one cop got convicted, and then it was kind of like, this guy's next. I didn't find this to be all that horrible, but people got upset.
I don't think
people were not happy.
Oh, he did it with the photo. Oh, so it's doxing. He doxed him. I guess we didn't know.
What does that mean?
Like when you don't know, when you reveal the identity of a person before it's come out.
Oh, well, how did he have whose identity?
The identity of the police officer that shot Ma'Khia Bryant.
Oh, okay. So he knew who it was and let it out. Okay, well that's not.
Or at least the photograph before anybody else could.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Put it out.
All right. Well, how did he have access to that?
Here's what's so tough about all of this. And I mean, let's be honest.
Let's hear Doctor Fam.
Every single one of these, one case has nothing to do with the other one. So it's it's hard. Although
it's not the same thing, it's
yes,
no, the
like
the situations might not be the same, but there is a common theme.
Well, I was just going to say the systemic racism issue is one part of this, right? So that's the constant, right? Which in all these cases you could make a case for, but everything else is a variable and changes. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's really hard. It's a real difficult thing.
No one says it's easy. Of course it's not.
I mean, to throw a blanket,
to
throw a blanket over it, it's very, very hard to throw a blanket over it.
No, I understand. It's just, releasing the photo is hold on. Releasing the photo ahead of time is not a good idea, but saying you're next, I feel like if the photo, let's say the photo was released and everybody knows who the guy is or whatever, saying you're next, I feel like is just like, you're rooting for justice. I feel like that's what he was trying to do. But
that's how I took it. I don't know. But then again, I don't care about it.
Again,
I don't care about much. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, releasing the photo was fucked up.
J Sabs?
I mean, yeah, I don't think he should have released the photo because that's like imagine one of our friends is a cop and does something questionable, and now his picture is all over, being spread on the internet. Like, that's not cool.
It's a fucked up thing.
If one of our, let's say hypothetically, one of our friends was a cop and did something wrong, I would be the first one to release the photo.
I know you would.
Yeah,
I'd draw a picture.
Would you do the same for me? Because I had a little stint in law enforcement as well. So
100%, 100%. Thank you. I don't think that. See, this is the thing with police officers. I don't think they understand what it takes to grow a podcast. It's quite difficult. So
they probably don't know. Although I do have listened to some law enforcement podcasts. So.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're great, but I'm just saying, like, any chance you get to get that heat behind you, you got to take it. You got to take it. So it is what it is.
Send it this way, guys. All the letters go that way.
Hey, listen, police and firefighters and first responders, they run into the dangerous situations. We hop on top of publicity waves. This is just, everybody's got their role in society, okay? Everybody.
How heroic of us. So what did Trump say?
Who? Oh, we were talking about something.
Oh, wait, what?
I forgot.
Yeah, LeBron said his thing. We said what he did.
So LeBron said his thing, and he caught a bunch of heat for it. And then Donald Trump just went after him. He called the NBA star's words racist. Very interesting.
Go away.
It's not racist.
Go away.
Didn't call him racist.
Away.
Called his words racist. There is a difference there, I guess. And he told the hooper to stick to sports.
Ugh. Go away. Stick to politics.
He said in a statement, I bet you thought you'd never say that, Frank.
Or wait, stick building shitty
He's like, let me go back and
wait.
rephrase that.
Stick to putting your name on shitty buildings and then bankrupting them.
Oh my god.
LeBron.
I'm sorry. I get heated.
Now he's shitting on his buildings. He's like, what else?
Oh, they're shitty. What do you want?
Honey, get me the list.
Well, Trump Tower is gorgeous. That's it.
Yeah, but
Sorry, I'm rubbing my neck and I should be doing this on
what the hell are you doing?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you okay over
You
there?
hear what I said? No, I hurt my neck pretty bad.
Did
What
you?
happened?
Yeah, sleeping on my pillow. No, I'm just kidding. Sleeping on 2 pillows last night instead of 1.
Why the change?
Because I felt it wasn't high enough. That's what she said. And I was like, let me just check this out. And then this morning, I'm like, when I woke up, I'm like, oh, hello.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Can't move my neck pretty. So.
I have yet to find a pillow that's good for me.
Anyways, I actually use my pillow and it's fantastic. I know the guy's a dick, but I bought the thing like 10 years ago. And it's still great.
I tried that. That shit. You
didn't like it? I love it. Yeah, I love it. All right. Anyway, back to the story. LeBron James. This is Trump's words. LeBron James should focus on basketball rather than presiding over the destruction of the NBA, which has just recorded the lowest television rating. This fucking guy never disappoints. He never
go
disappoints.
Away, you.
It's pretty
dick.
good, right?
God, just disappear already.
Ratings are always the currency on whether somebody's doing something well or not. That's
this guy
so
has
funny.
0 friggin' class, man.
All right, anyway, let me get through this, Frank. LeBron James should focus on basketball rather than presiding over the destruction of the NBA, which has just recorded the lowest television ratings by far in the long and distinguished history of the league.
That can't be true because I'm sure the ratings were not very high back in the 60s and 50s.
Yeah, I think the NBA is as big as it's ever been, so I don't know if that's true.
So believe anything you want from this guy.
Oh,
or
God.
Don't.
What? Record low rating? The NBA? Now you have to look it up.
I didn't think that they were doing so well either.
I mean, if anybody, I can't imagine that to be true though. They're every sports league is huge. They were saying the same thing about football when they were kneeling, and fucking nothing is like they're still just printing money. All these sports leagues are printing money.
Yeah, they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried about any of the NBA or NFL owners. That's for damn sure. Anyway, he continues. His racist rants are divisive, nasty, insulting, and demeaning. He may be a great basketball player, but he's doing nothing to bring our country together.
Oh, like he did. Like all the great things he did.
Yeah. U.S. Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas added, LeBron James is inciting violence against an Ohio police officer. This is disgraceful and dangerous.
Oh, my God. I can't.
I could look. I mean, your next thing. It's not ideal. I guess
it's not good. He took it down. I get it.
See, because that's the thing. Like, I take that as you're next to be convicted. Some other psychopath.
That's right. Exactly.
We'll take it not as.
And I'm sure that's how he meant it. But
again, here's the other thing too that I feel like a lot of people are, and I don't know if Frank will concede this point. Fucking Trump is a genius at
stop it.
Getting.
You lost me already.
But he knows how to pick a fight with somebody to get ahead. Like he let's be honest, he's been putting out some statements and shit, but really, really quiet for the most part. Now this happens and he sees this as an opportunity to get his fucking name back into the news.
Exactly. I was going to say, he knows how to get his name.
He knows how to do it.
All he has to do is put out a statement. That's it.
He's put out some others that haven't caught this much heat, though. This has been.
All right. So all he has to do is call someone a name, and be a jerk to someone, and that's how you get into the news.
I just picture him as they're going like, "Do you want to comment on this?" He's like, "No." You want to comment on this? No. How about this LeBron thing? Tell me how the ratings have been. Somebody look up the NBA ratings right now. If they're low, we're going with this one. This is our opportunity.
Am I on the golf course? Because if I'm on the golf course, I can't do it.
We're going to take a shot at him. He's got low ratings. He's weak.
It's weak. Does this go right into the Derek
yeah,
bullet?
It sure does. Would you like to talk about that there, J. Saps?
Sure. I don't know what it is, but
It's the cop who got
You don't know who
convicted.
that is?
Oh no, I know who he is.
Oh.
I don't know exactly which story you
Oh, if
want
there's
to
a
talk
new
about.
topic? No,
Yes.
It's
Well,
the one we're all familiar with, I believe.
I was just gonna give an overall because what happened is he got convicted, and then we did the 420 show, and we intentionally ignored it because the 420 show was meant to be something to enjoy whenever, like. Next year at 420, people are going to be watching this 420 show. That's kind of how the world works now. So to bring up something that was timely,
Yeah,
What- it wasn't-
It was just about 420.
it wasn't what we were going to do. But I figured we could always address it here, and that's what we'll do now. I actually watched it as it happened
So did I. Yep.
because the person that I was with was like obsessed with it. And I haven't watched a bit of this trial, but I watched the conviction, and it was a chilling moment. I felt
He was, showed zero emotion.
dude, there was something in his eyes. It was just like it was something I had never really seen before out of a person.
Really? Have you
Yeah.
watched any serial killer shows?
I guess I don't watch as many
No, I
serial
wouldn't
killer
say-
shows
He's
as
not a serial killer, but yeah.
yeah, it was just very like it was cold and without feeling, and
Right.
I didn't see remorse or regret or any sort of emotion whatsoever. It was almost like I don't know, it was like he was reading the train schedule. It just felt very empty of any sort of, like he didn't look relieved, he didn't look sad, he didn't look like
Well, it's weird when people's when it's read in court for people, because like there's been a lot of people who've been found guilty of things, and they're just like, or even if they're not found guilty, there's no emotion at all. Like it's weird. It's weird, but some people they're told to hide it. They're saying no emotion.
right.
Yeah, he knew he was on camera too.
Right. So it's like
Yeah,
it's kind of
so-
weird. I don't know, like I don't know, because it's like if you show emotion, then people might act a certain way towards you in jail. It's just weird. You just don't
I'm
know
sure there's
how.
some kind of reasoning behind it, but
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows what it is?
But
But
you,
I think we
It's
got the
just
right.
weird.
I think we got the right verdict. Of course.
yeah, but you know what? Like I mean, even in like the shoulders or the like, there was no movement. His eyes kept moving around,
Yeah.
but that was basically it. I mean, and they were kind of that way every clip I've ever seen. It was the same.
And so also some people are in shock too. So they don't know. They don't have any
Yeah,
emotion then.
Plus, I feel like he kind of
He knew that he was going to be convicted. though, I think.
exactly. I think we all hope. I mean, not everything is certain, so we don't know exactly. But I think maybe he saw it coming.
yeah. The show producer, who I'm also sleeping with, by the way, said the same thing, and he knew it was coming.
She's sleeping already?
No. I said I'm sleeping with her. And just
Oh.
Full
I was gonna
disclosure.
say, I tired her out today. That sounds really dirty, but
that did sound really
Whoa.
dirty. A lot of people are gonna have
Hi-yo.
some questions about that. Yours truly, being one of them.
Yeah, what the hell is going on?
But there is a court date for June 16th. He'll be
it's, it's
sentenced.
8 weeks, right?
Sentenced.
Yeah, he's going to be sentenced.
And in the meantime, he's held in jail. His bail was revoked. All that stuff.
His bail was revoked, correct, and they took him
Damn.
off, and it was just yeah, and he immediately just put his hand. It was just very, I don't know,
It was like a business meeting. He just got up and very nonchalant, very
Who's-
like
That's a
matter of
man.
fact.
That's a man for you. Men
No,
show
it's
no
not.
emotion.
Stop that. Not every guy.
Uh,
Not every guy is like that.
well, I'd say there's some in our group. My husband included, who show no emotion. Him and his brother don't show any emotion.
I'm sure,
What?
like when his kids were born, he showed emotion. No,
I mean, he showed emotion. Obviously, some things in our life,
right?
but I mean, like every day, like I'm very expressive, if you couldn't tell, and I feel like this is funny, but I feel like people compare me to him when talking about how, like, you know, his emotions are, because I'm very like emotional, and he's not though. I can say
He's a man of few words, but
Yeah, but
you
if
know,
your
he's-
and
husband
a few
was
emotions.
if your husband was gonna spend the rest of his life in jail, I think he would show an emotion.
Yeah, no.
yeah, his face would change in some way.
Yeah. And I know what you're saying about, like, he was probably told and the lawyers probably said don't show anything, but
Yes.
I feel like the fact that he didn't show anything kind of tells us something
Yeah,
about
you
him.
know,
Right.
it's kind of like win-lose situation. If you act a certain way, like maybe they're like, oh, if you act like you're sad in jail, people are going to beat the shit out of you. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
but people don't
what if
realize
you're not?
he's a cop, and cops don't go into Gen Pop. Cops
No,
go
they
into
don't.
special areas in
Oh, yeah,
prison.
definitely, especially this case, obviously. But
I
Yeah.
would imagine so.
Yes.
But I feel like also he, you know, whatever emotion he would show, like if he showed any, it would either show that he agreed with or disagreed with the verdict.
I don't know.
He tried to. I'm sure he tried to show zero emotion so that you couldn't tell.
That too.
Just
Yeah.
so maybe there's I don't know, appeal. I don't know what he's going to do, but I think the right verdict was reached. So
It was
yeah.
weird because I saw this exchange too between him and his lawyer when you know he was going to testify or not, and it was this long. I won't play the whole thing for you, but there was this long, drawn out thing of the lawyer going over like, we've talked about this, and you don't have to testify, and it doesn't mean you're guilty, and blah blah blah. Let me play a clip of this here.
Remain silent. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand that if you choose to exercise that right to remain silent, neither the state nor the court can comment on your silence as a sign or an indication of your guilt. Meaning they can't say he didn't get up and defend himself, so equate your silence with guilt. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Now, you also
who told him that?
This is his lawyer talking. His lawyer, his
In
defense
court?
in court.
Okay.
And it's 4 minutes of him just like leading him, like, you understand. And he basically is like, yeah, I'm not going to testify. He said, I'm going to take the fifth. And that's it. And that's all he says. So it's like kind of amazing to me that he said nothing throughout all of
Yeah,
this.
he's very he's a man of few words.
Yeah.
Plus, being a cop, I don't know how long he was on the force, but I'm sure he's been in and out of courtrooms, and I'm sure there are things he's been told to do and act a certain way. Don't let your lawyer speak for you, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, usually the accused does not take the stand. They usually advise that you don't.
Right.
I
they
don't
don't
know.
want
I
you-
mean, like if I was committed of a crime, I think I would want to.
I'd want to get up there and be like,
Yeah.
hey, this is exactly the truth, and that's that.
But you're right, though. Cops do know their way around court. They all have to go to
It's
court
true.
and testify. So, you know, he does.
Maybe he was like, yeah.
He's kind of in his wheelhouse a little bit. What I found interesting was everything that kind of happened around it. There were two key things. And I'll start first with the Maxine Waters thing. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
This
Oh, yeah.
This dumb fuck. Maxine Waters. Where is she? In California? Okay. In California.
Dumb.
She's she's in the House of Representatives. So they were
House of dum-dums.
They were interviewing House of Dum-Dums. They were interviewing her before the verdict. Okay. And she said, somebody asked her a question like, what happens if you don't get a guilty verdict? And her answer was, and I'll quote you here, I hope we get a verdict that says guilty, guilty, guilty. And if we don't, we cannot go away. We've got to stay on the street. We get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know we mean business. And then she was asked to clarify that, and she said, we've got to be more confrontational. I don't think you could be a bigger piece of shit than this
Yeah, really
woman
Not.
in this particular case. And what
Well, I hope
drives me
she gets. Go ahead.
what drives me crazy about this, and that, all right, let me go in order. What drives me crazy about this is a lot of people, both Democrat and Republicans, agree that what the president did on the 6th was not ideal, was the initial thing, and then was handled horrifically. This woman included had plenty to say about him. And then here we are fucking 3 months later, and she goes and does practically the same fucking thing.
Yeah. So now she should be banned on Twitter. If she has a Twitter.
She should be banned on Twitter.
Yep. She's
You're
doing
right,
the same
Janine.
thing.
You're 100% right. She should be censured, which she's not going to be. They already said that she wouldn't be. And then here's what's crazy about this. This is what drives me crazy about Democrats and Republicans. It's what infuriates me about people who make that a part of their identity, right? Because you have people that are running around with fucking shit on their bumpers, and they're on Facebook with I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. Like, it pains me to see people have any sort of pride for their political party. Political parties should be part of the process. It shouldn't be something that fucking identifies you. So this idiot says this, telling people to be more confrontational when we're at a time where being at a protest is just fine, but being peaceful is what everybody is trying to do and trying to keep that way. And this asshole goes, we should be more confrontational. The next day, they ask Nancy Pelosi if she should be get in trouble for that or whatever, and Pelosi goes, no, absolutely not. Like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, of course she's going to say that.
Stop being a fucking robot. At least, and this is not a statement that Republicans are better than Democrats, but at least there were some Republicans that said that what the president did was bad. Now, not all of them, but there was fucking some of them. And what kills me the most about what Pelosi said was, in her defense of Maxine Waters, she brought up something that a Republican said that was also bad. And that's what pains me. It's like, well, they did. It's not what the fuck that any of this is about. It's about you people are supposed to be the leadership. You are supposed to be leading everybody, keeping them calm, keeping everything moving forward. Yep. And you're fucking sitting here going, well, they did this and they did that. I'm telling you, it's a fucking problem. The people who are in charge right now across the board, people should vote.
Pelosi's the Antichrist anyway, so
that's true. I did read that on a Q Reddit forum.
I did too. So I mean, they do believe
it's gotta
that.
be true.
So now the reason why this is such a huge problem, because this Chauvin can actually use what this fucking asshole said in his appeal, because the judge, I would play the clip, but I can just tell you, it's just as easy. The judge was pissed because the judge said that politicians, he particularly said politicians should not comment on this. And the reason why is because the jury, they're trying to keep the jury not tainted. And he instructed the jury not to be reading the news. But when you have somebody like Maxine Waters, who's a high profile person, telling everybody they should be more confrontational on the streets, it's a gigantic fucking story. And that has a better chance at reaching the jurors than the regular, rhetoric of what's going on.
That's why it's so hard. And that's why you're right. He can use that, which is because she has to say something stupid. And
the judge, as calmly as he could, lost his shit the next day because he said in his comments, I specifically said that politicians should not be commenting on this. Yep. He specifically said that. And this dumb fucking idiot goes out there and says we should be more confrontation. I couldn't believe my fucking ears. Could not believe it. It was like I was watching January 6th all over again. Now, it's not like people were storming a building at the time, but it's the same thing, and I hope people understand this. It's the same thing in a sense of you have an escalating situation. You're hoping that the leaders will step in and do what leaders do, which is calmly guide everybody through it and calm everything down. And she fucking goes, we're going to get more confrontational.
No, not good.
Dumb.
Not the way to lead. Not what you're supposed to say. Any left or right, you don't want to incite any kind of violence. That's rule number one. Stop
Ever.
people from being violent.
Ever.
Right.
And I understand like people misspeak and whatever. Not a fucking apology. Not a let me clarify my comments. Not, again, Nancy Pelosi.
She doesn't care. Right.
She shouldn't have said it. How fucking hard is it? Put down the team colors and go, she shouldn't have fucking said that. That was really fucking stupid. Like beyond stupid. Like tell people there's a difference between you should get more confrontational and we're never going to go away. We're going to keep protesting until we start to see the results that we want. We're going to be out here peacefully making sure that our voices are heard. That's a big difference from we're going to get more confrontational.
Yeah, confrontational is definitely not the word you want.
No. And I just would like to point out that I don't have any political party on the back of my car. All it says is baby up in this bitch. And that's all I have, okay?
That's true. I can attest to that. It does say
I don't want
baby
anyone
up
to
in
think
this
I'm part of any political party.
The baby party.
Consequently from that then, and God bless his heart, Tucker Carlson has given us a lot of cringeworthy moments, but this by far was the most cringeworthy.
Oh, I didn't see this one.
You didn't see this? You didn't see the laugh?
No.
So he has a corrections officer on the show. And this is his show the day that Chauvin was guilty. Okay.
Okay.
So he brings a correction officer on, and the correction officer is just giving his opinion. He's a New York City corrections officer or New York corrections officer. I don't know if he was for the city. Here's what I'll say about this. Again, like I said before, there's a lot of sides to all this. And I don't understand why it has to be you're either on the side of black people or you're on the side of the cops. Because this, to me, is something that Democrats and Republicans have turned into another Democrat versus Republican issue. And I just don't think it's that way. I just think that the reality of life is these are different situations across the board. And what may be true in one instance is not necessarily true in another instance, with the exception, of course, of systemic racism. Obviously, that is what people are saying is the constant throughout. That's of course. I'm not saying that doesn't exist and then that's not part of it. But that being said, what happens in one case is sometimes very different than what happens in another case. And in the instance of Derek Chauvin, in my opinion, it was hands down across the board a wrong, horrible thing. Like I just I don't know if there's gray area in that case, in my opinion.
No, right. I don't think so either.
Okay. And what happens in this Tucker Carlson thing is the corrections officer, who's on the side of law enforcement, right? I don't know what Tucker was expecting from this guy. Maybe he was expecting him to toe what typically is on the Republican side of be for the cops. And see, here's the thing. Like, I don't understand why you can't be for the cops, but also I feel like most people, and nobody's talking about this, most people would be for the cops, but also not want people to be treated unfairly or shot and killed for no reason.
I don't know why we have to take sides.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
because what else would Fox News and CNN talk about? Hello.
Well said, Janine. So, and that's the thing. It's like, why do people fall so hard into this fight that has nothing to do with them? These are two entities that are either trying to win a political race or trying to win in the ratings, and they don't give a flying fuck about you and what's important to you at all.
I think because it's a racial thing, and then what happens is politics take their claws and grab onto whatever it is, because there's a situation that happens, someone's killed by a cop, a black person's killed by a cop, and all of a sudden politicians and news and politics have to take their sides for some reason. They have to jump on one side or the other.
There was always opinions, but my point is we've gotten to this weird place where it's like immediately the Democrats are on one side and the Republicans are on the other side, and there's no room anymore for logic. There's no room anymore for just traditional logic.
Thinking.
Yeah.
Well, each side, like people, let's say,
There's no room
Derek-
for, you said that so well. There's no room for thinking. It's like, what
On each
happened?
side.
Another black person got shot. Well, clearly the cops are good people.
No.
But, there's no room
There
for
are-
that anymore.
No, what it is that you look at, like, especially when there's footage of what's going on, and like someone gets shot for just the kid who got shot putting his hands up. I mean, you look at all this stuff, and how could you not be on the side of the victim?
No, I'm not
How could
talking.
you
No,
not?
I'm not talking about that, Frank. I'm talking about this is how the world works right now. You're at your job. You come home, right? And
Sure.
I tell you, a white cop shot a black guy today.
Okay.
Automatically, right? According to kind of the way things are going right now, if you're a Republican, you got to be on the side of the cop. If you're
It's
a
not the
Democrat,
way-
you got to be on the side of the victim.
You need more
Yeah.
information. You can't go off
Exactly.
of that.
Exactly.
But
But
that's what we're saying. That's the problem. A lot of the time, and because we're in, it's like Will Smith said, racism isn't growing now. It's just being televised now. It's everywhere now because we could see it better because it's people are recording it. People are taking pictures and video. It's being broadcast everywhere. So
right. But
what
my
happens is-
overall point is, I agree with you. But my overall point is, we're being dragged into a fight. Normal everyday
who
people
can think for themselves
are
can
being
look at a situation and say,
Mhm.
well, was this cop justified or was it not justified? And we could look at it, especially when there's video footage of it. A guy just getting into his car. Should he have been shot in the back 7 times? No, probably not.
right.
But if we,
But the problem is too, we don't see the whole video. Like we only see a part of it.
We
We don't know
love
what
to
happened before.
Love to
Yeah.
jump to a conclusion off of
Before-
a 10-second
before
clip.
or after, the guy could have said whatever. What he doesn't. There's a situation like something that could have happened an hour ago or a day ago. Who cares? What happened in the situation? Did this person deserve to get shot?
Yeah.
Most of the time in these situations, it's probably not.
Well, I don't know about most of the time, but I will say
no, in
it's
the- in the
it's an
racial-
uncomfortable amount of times. I will
It
say
really
Mhm.
is. I mean, unless the cop is in some kind of danger, which recently we've been seeing a lot of this, they're not, and they just like the woman who got mistook her gun for her taser,
Yeah.
which is unbelievable. Then there's the guy who got shot in the back 7 times. Just he was getting into his car. I mean,
yeah.
what is that?
I saw a video the other day, right? It was here in New York, maybe Long Island. Cops pull over this guy, and everything is perfectly normal. License and registration. Okay, I got to reach for it. Okay, this or that. And the guy opens the door, and the cop goes, "Why are you opening the door?" He goes, "Oh, I got to reach my thing." Reaches for a cup, pours. I think I was acid or some chemical. Right? What was?
Yep.
And then he had my Molotov cocktails, and it was just like it reminds you of.
That's in the city. That was in the city.
It was in the city. It reminds you of a lot of people. Please let me finish my whole thing. A lot of people forget what it's like to be a cop.
Yep.
You are, like Frank said, and Frank's got a valid point here that there is some because there are definitely those cases where there's no danger here. You can see everything. It's not. There's a lot of those cases, but we forget sometimes that like these poor people are just trying to get home to their family, and somebody who's acting totally calm and normal, like everything's gonna be fine, then is throwing shit in their face.
Yeah,
and there's always that danger there for police
yes.
officers.
Yes,
And-
I understand that.
But to Frank's point, and I agree, and this is proving my original point, that every one of these instances are its own thing.
Mhm.
And it's like there are those cases where you look at a video, and especially 1,000,000,000%, this Derek Chauvin one, where you're kind of like, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. There is no way for 9.5 minutes this guy should have been leaning on this guy's neck.
Not only that, but when when a cop shoots someone, shooting, just firing your gun is the last resort. I feel like it. There are other non-lethal ways to subdue someone.
Well, and it makes me think about more and more as we see these things that developing a better taser gun. What do they call those? What do they call it? Is it a taser?
Taser.
Go ahead, Ginny.
So, no offense to you guys, but I have been the closest to law enforcement.
Go
He's
ahead.
making a face at me because I know he thinks I'm a total dumb blonde. But
Who?
I went. You.
I'm not making a face.
Very
You are.
judgmental,
Look,
Frank.
okay,
You're very
we're gonna
judgmental right
rewind
now.
this.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's your judgmental
I'm not
face.
saying. I took a course, and it was basically like the police academy for Suffolk County here.
Wait, like the real
And-
police academy or like the movie?
No, like the real thing.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I know I probably could have been in police academy.
Don't poke fun at me for
And
asking
here's
questions
the-
that the audience has. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
I mean,
Go ahead.
obviously they're asking. I know. So I kind of saw firsthand, like it's a situation where it's either your life or theirs, and
It's not always that. Go
no,
ahead.
not always, right? But sometimes it is.
But they have to deal
And-
with that every day.
Well, right. That's the whole thing.
Well,
Every single day, and so I went through like this. It was a shooting exercise where you had all these different situations, and you had a gun, fake gun, obviously, but modeled after a pistol, and it was kind of like a game where you went through these different situations, and either you died or you didn't, or you saved the people.
Yeah.
And one of them was pulling over someone, and it was a family, and a little girl got out of the car and had a shotgun and shot at me.
and she killed you?
No, because I shot at her.
You killed a
And-
little girl?
well,
What is
I
wrong
did.
with you?
Well, then that's. a
Wait, is this why
situation-
you're on this show right now and not actually on the police force?
That would be funny. But there's different, like another one was in a house where
Janine, you are a special kind of a person. You've caused the most HR meetings,
making the
and
point.
you killed a virtual 16-year-old girl or 6-year-old.
she
That
was
was
16. She was 6.
6.
Maybe
Oh my!
between 6 and 10.
Oh my
But, I mean,
goodness!
it's just
So you're making
I
the
learned
point.
a lot.
You're making our point. What?
Oh, you
I'm sorry,
blipped
blipped
out
out.
there.
Go ahead, Frank. She's making our
I
point.
said you're making our point where you responded to a situation the correct way because your life was in danger. If the girl got out and went like this, would you have shot her?
Yeah, but
Well, I think the
but
point too is
yeah.
that most of us can't do the job of a
Well,
police
that's
officer.
the thing. In other countries, it
You
takes
shot a 6-year-old
years to-
fake girl. So come on.
It takes like 2 years. I forget which countries, but there are other countries where you have to train for like 2 years to
Yeah.
become a cop. In this country, it's 6 months, I believe.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. It's funny last year around 9/11 because this was when a lot of this stuff was happening. I was like, I wonder how 9/11 is going to be because 9/11 day, you're a cop or a firefighter or EMT.
Yeah, that's it.
Everybody loves you, And it was weird how we kind of took a day off from all the police hate. But let me just say this too, because I do mean this. People that get pulled over by cops shouldn't have to feel like they might die, because
Exactly.
they were pulled over for a routine,
Right.
their light was out or they
No, I agree. Obviously there's policemen who extreme,
yes.
but there's also other professions that do that too. Yes. But and yes, there obviously Derek Chauvin, whatever, he did the wrong thing.
Right.
Obviously.
I think
But
we
there's
need
just certain
police
there's-
reform.
So let's get to I think we've all made the point. And very well too, by the way. We're all doing
yes,
a
that I'm
great
an
job.
excellent cop. Thank you.
I can't
You are.
believe you shot a virtual 6-year-old
And
girl.
actually, they told me what I did was completely right.
She was gonna shoot you. What do you know?
Well, I guess that's part of the drink.
Get it?
That's so funny. That just reminds me of, and I hate that I thought of this just now, but do you remember in Men in Black when Will Smith shoots the little girl?
Oh yeah. Those books are way too advanced for her.
And I also went on Ride Along, but that's a different day story.
We'll get to that some other time. But I think, and again, I think we're all making the point that all of these things, that obviously there's a problem. Obviously cops are, in tough spots. Obviously people shouldn't have to die from a routine traffic stop, but there's different scenarios and situations.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
enter Tucker fuck Carlson, and this guy has this corrections officer on, and I think he was expecting
this
him
is our original point. Go ahead. Sorry.
to go along with Tucker's narrative, because Tucker's ratings and paycheck depends on this narrative that he has to sell you, and he's no better.
Piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit. He's no better than the people on the left, but he, in this particular case, we're talking about this piece of. He's no better than Rachel fucking Maddow. She's just a piece of shit about different things.
That's ridiculous.
It's not.
He's a gigantic
Frank,
racist.
you can't think that they're not the same.
They are not the same.
It's not. Rachel
I gotta
Maddow.
go.
Although Rachel Maddow didn't do anything this shitty that I can remember in recent history.
Yeah, she might take a side, but she's not a gigantic racist. And a fucking
She
bigot.
definitely ain't taking something else.
And a misogynist.
Let me think
Tucker
about
Carlson
this.
is a racist piece of shit. Left or right,
Jesus.
I don't care.
Tell us
He's
how
a
you
racist
really
piece of
See,
shit.
you know what? I think I don't disagree with you, but I think I don't. Not that it matters, but I think his that's born out of not hatred for people, but out of
Okay,
His
what's
job.
born out of?
His job.
saving his own. Yeah, keeping his job. I think that's what it's born
That's
out of.
So that
definitely it.
Doesn't make it better.
All of them. All of
It's
them.
still racist bullshit, and he's an asshole.
Well, what I
Go
mean by
fuck
any of
himself.
this, we're losing my point, which is what I mean by any of this is
No, I'm sorry, but the tangent of comparing Rachel Maddow, who might take a side.
well. Let me
on certain
clarify.
situations,
Let me clarify.
And Tucker Carlson is ridiculous.
What I mean by that is I feel like both of those people would sell out the common good to further their own career.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Disagree.
What?
100%.
You can't really believe that,
100%.
Frank. Oh my God.
I disagree
Oh my God.
100%.
No.
Come on, buddy.
Give me an example of Rachel Maddow doing that.
Frank, he
doing
doesn't watch
anything
that
like that.
channel.
I'll give you an example. Rachel
Well, you know,
Maddow,
Go ahead.
I can't remember when, tweets out, I got Trump's tax returns, tax forms, whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Got my attention. I tune in that night. Okay. This was early on in his presidency. I tuned in that night. I want to see what this is all about. She paraded it out there like, here it is, everybody. We got him. I watched that fucking show for 45 minutes. She basically had the first page, which he puts his name on, and had zero information pertinent to the fact that he did anything wrong. Now, you might think that's not a big deal, but if he really, that's like the boy who cried wolf, because subsequently from there, he had an excuse every single time somebody accused him of whatever, because every single time these fucking people on the left were like, this is the end of the world and we got him and this is it. And they fucking never had it. And that was not a great thing overall.
So what does that have to do with what did you say? It was what was the phrase you used? Either both of them would what? Sell out something or other? For...
What I'm saying is goes to what Maxine Waters said and what Trump said. None of them give a fuck about the well-being of the country and people and lives, because they got to fucking make numbers. That's all they give a shit about. Of course
they do. Absolutely. I agree that they're worried about their news. And
no, but at one point it would be nice if somebody stood up and said, you know what, this is not right for the country right now. Let's not go with this part. Let's not take that angle in the fucking story. And none of them do it.
Because they wouldn't be watched anymore. I get it. I get that. The difference is Rachel Maddow never said that, what's the, why is diversity, such a plus? Why, or he's, all this bullshit, this racist bullshit that Tucker Carlson has said on a regular basis.
Look, she might not have done it with race, but I feel like that was a really bad thing, Because everybody who complains about Trump got away with this and got away with that, take a look at fucking Rachel Maddow then, because it was your own side that was a big problem, a big part of the.
Yeah, but that's a different issue. Yeah, they all the news people, they
The
come up
signs
with
for being
shit. They try.
annoying.
Yeah, they all whatever. They're annoying. Fine. They're trying to grab ratings. I get it. They all do that.
But they're all.
It doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it right. But they all do that. They try to grab ratings. They go, oh, look at this story. Hey, look over here. Everybody, look over here. But they're not going. At least she's not going, hey, look over here.
All right. She was part of the brigade hang on. She was part of the brigade that outed that kid. Do you remember that? The who's the kid who was yelling at the Native Americans that it turned out that he never fucking was. And not only that, but they fucking went after some other kid and ruined his fucking life. And it was the wrong kid. So
what are you talking about?
I can't, dude. I don't have time to cite specific examples.
I don't know. Yeah, all right. Well,
take my word for it. You remember the kid in the MAGA hat? He yelled at the Native American guy.
Yeah, the guy that was like in his face.
Right, and it turned out to not be. That wasn't the case at all. But then in their hunt to get the story, CNN and MSNBC and all that wound up fucking ruining another kid's life for like
what other kid?
Because they said like they named the wrong kid. They was like, oh, this is the kid's name. And then he got harassed and this and that and death threats and all this shit. It wasn't even the fucking right kid.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know about any of that. So if that's the truth, that's fucked up too.
That's what I'm saying. They're all a part of it.
They're all fucked up.
They're all a part of it.
Baby up in this bitch
Tucker
party.
Carlson's the racist asshole. So.
If you want to say Tucker's the worst out of all of them, I'm not going to argue with you. But they're all fucking. They all got.
They all suck. But
they all got it.
Yeah, they all suck.
Right. So
but
anyway,
Tucker Carlson's the worst.
So here we are. On the I can't get to this fucking point.
Oh my
Show's
God,
never ending.
Just go to Disney.
We're not going to get to any of the other points. Here we are on the day that this guy gets convicted. He gets convicted. I feel like majority of people feel like he deserves it. I feel like police officers can be like, what that guy did was fucked up. That doesn't represent us. Right? Because, I mean, that's basically what he's doing. Right. He's shitting on all the good cops out there that risk their lives for us. And here's what Tucker Carlson had to say. So he's got the correction officer on, and the correction officer doesn't go along with Tucker's narrative. The corrections officer basically says what I just said, which is what he did was fucked up and wrong. And this was Tucker Carlson's reaction to the corrections officer saying that.
I just think that it was excessive and it shouldn't happen. And what I'd like to say,
the guy who did it looks like he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. So I'm kind of more worried about the rest of the country, which, thanks to police inaction, in case you haven't noticed, is like boarded up. So that's more my concern. But I appreciate your coming on, Ed Gavin. Thank you. Nope, done. Thank you.
I just think that.
So the guy couldn't say that what he did was excessive.
I'm going to play it again because I want people to see Tucker's face.
The guy who did it looks like he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. So I'm kind of more worried about the rest of the country, which, thanks to police inaction, in case you haven't noticed, is like boarded up. So that's more my concern. But I appreciate your coming on, Ed Gavin. Thank you.
That's a crazy laugh.
Done. Thank you.
That is a psychopath. That is a fucking...
He did it again about something else. I forget what it was, but he, like, the next day, he did that maniacal bullshit laugh again.
Like, listen, I understand. There's a lot of crazy people out there. I got upset at who's that comedian that I liked so much? The girl, the funny Chelsea Handler. I think I don't know if we even talked about this. Chelsea Handler tweets the other day, "Why would anybody obey a cop's orders at this point or whatever?" And it's like, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah,
like,
that's dumb.
Like that's the opposite of what should be said. Like, I understand there's an issue, but to not have more of the issue, you know,
just putting more brick on the fire.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wood
like I have cops in my family. You know, I know plenty of cops. I to this day, I've been doing this since I'm 18 years old. If I get pulled over by a cop, I roll down all the fucking windows. I turn the car off. Put my hands on the wheel. I put the fucking light on. I do the whole fucking thing. You know, I do the whole thing. I understand I'm a white guy. I get it. But I still do it because I want him or her, whoever's pulling me over, to feel as comfortable and as at ease as possible. And when he asks for my license and registration, I tell him it's in the bag next to me. I'm going to slowly reach. I do the whole fucking 9 yards so that we both go home at the end of the day. This stupid asshole is tweeting. Why would anybody, ever? So anyway, regardless of the fact.
No, it's ridiculous.
So to Tucker Carlson, again, he can identify that what this man did was incredibly wrong. Yet he's got to worry about, and like I understand, like you're worried about defund the police, and then the police, if they're going to get in trouble for their job, then they're not going to do their job. I understand all of these things, but again, it's not the fucking point in this particular case. Like, understand what's happening, know that there's not a whole blanket that everything falls under, and be a fucking human being. Be a real person.
Yeah,
well, asleep. Sorry.
Okay. Or wake up your ass cheek. Or, I mean, you got it. And he's not doing that. And he fails to do that at every chance. So,
I mean,
I have zero respect for the man.
And that
He
laugh.
just wants more Instagram views. That's it.
I mean, but this video, by the way, is up to 5.8 million views. I mean, you got to think that somebody, his wife, his cousin, I mean, a producer, that fucking somebody.
I really do think that they tell them to act a certain way, no matter how they feel. I really do think this way.
I think nobody tells them anything. I think they're all probably scared to say anything. And nobody is going to say, hey, Tucker, you should not say this. He would go, fuck you, you're fired.
I mean, listen, I get it. I understand. And I understand you don't want to get to a place where we don't have law and order, where we don't have police around to protect people.
That's a huge leap.
I get it. But again, in this case, like, you've got it. Like, this is not the time. No. You know what I'm saying? To be being like, I'm worried about the rest of the country. And like, what? Are you fucking crazy? The guy sat on this guy's neck for 9.5 minutes. I don't understand how anybody watches that video and goes on a show and says what this fucking guy said.
Exactly.
How
Just
could you
pushing his agenda, no matter what.
I don't get it. I don't
really do think get it. He's told to do that.
A guy, I think it's him. I think it's all him.
And then in the same show, he has Candace Owen on, right? So Candace Owen comes on, and she's there talking about the mainstream media is lying to you, and he had fentanyl in his system and all this and that shit. Now listen, I didn't follow this case hardcore, but what little I did read and see, the guy, every coroner said he died of asphyxiation. He died being fucking strangled. What fucking what are you talking about? The mainstream media is lying to you. She's another one. She's another one. She goes the mainstream because she gets on the mainstream media, her being an internet person. Right. And listen, it would behoove the three of us right now to be like, yeah, fuck the mainstream media. They stink. But the fact of the matter is she gets on the mainstream media, says the mainstream media is lying to you, plugs herself in the middle of this thing where this guy kills this fucking other guy. Like, it's fucking crazy.
There's no shame.
Crazy.
Welcome to America.
And people sit there and go, Tucker's my guy. Or, I love that Candace Owens. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no.
Oh, he tells it like it is. No, he doesn't. He tells you how he wants you to see it.
I can't even. And Nancy Pelosi's doing a great job, or President Trump never did anything wrong. What the fuck is happening? Can't people fucking judge anything for themselves anymore?
No.
That's the problem.
Holy shit.
Why I stopped watching. I haven't watched mainstream news or any real news. I get my news from articles that I read, and I try not to.
I hope from the Onion.
All the time.
You know when you have a dream and like weird shit's happening, but it all makes sense because it's the dream, and and it's like it continues to happen. Like the weirder gets weirder. I feel like that's what I'm in. You're special people. We love you, but you're special people.
Right.
We should be more confrontational. Like it's the fucking like what are you people doing?
Yeah, stop it. Stop talking. Stop it. People who can't like Trump. Maxine Waters, people who can't speak to the public shouldn't have a job speaking to the public. And that's obviously what's going on. And a lot of the extreme is what's getting magnified on left, right, whatever. It's all being, and that's what's running, everything. So
I honestly feel like we are going to be fine. Everything is going to be okay. Like,
right.
Check in with America in 250 years, and we're going to be here just fine.
Agreed.
But I will say, I don't think we've ever been in a time where people have been more selfish, and we've had such a lack of leadership across the board. Like, leadership to me is when you put the greater good in front of your own selfishness, your own self. And I don't know if we've ever had such low levels of that than right now.
I was going to say that at all.
I think it's a little better than it was.
I disagree.
My opinion.
It has nothing to do.
It's
nothing.
worse now than it was a year ago.
Maxine Waters said this 3 fucking days ago, and then the leader of her party fucking backed her up. Nothing has changed.
Yeah, but
But he's not president. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying right now. It has zero to do with it. Zero.
Yeah, no, it does, because you're talking about the leadership of the country.
And the only thing that's changed is it's not in the White House as much. That's the only thing that has changed. But you still have it everywhere you fucking look. On cable TV, in Congress, in the Senate. It's fucking everywhere. And I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about
people. You got it.
I'm talking about people. No, but I'm talking about people. Even CEOs of corporations. Financial institutions. Across the board.
I get it. I know. I understand that. But when you have the leader of leaders who right now is not inciting and throwing gasoline on the fire the way we had a year ago, then we're in a slightly 1% better place. Disagree.
Yeah.
You think there's no difference between what leader we have now and what leader we had a year ago?
I think that Maxine Waters says the exact same thing that he said. It's the same fucking thing.
I understand. It's bullshit. It is. She said this one thing that's terrible. He said about 4,000 things that's also terrible. Tell me I'm wrong.
I just think that you just don't like him. So no matter what.
Yeah, I think you're part of the. I gotta tell you something. You're part of the problem. Because you're making it all about this one thing. It's not about that. It's about everything.
I'm sick of that. You point to all the problems. You go, oh well, you don't like him. I don't like all the bullshit that I said in the beginning of his presidency. He is completely underprepared for this job.
And my point is he's gone. My point is he's gone, and and here comes Maxine Waters. It's the same bullshit.
Yeah, I get it. But
and then Pelosi gets a chance to make it right, and same bullshit. So
yeah, both things are absolutely wrong. 100% agree with you. But it's this one thing opposed to 4 years of nonstop things. That's the difference.
Hold on, I want to see. Hold on a second, wrong. Frank. I want to see how Chipotle feels about this. I'm checking my spam email. Let's see.
Yes, I agree. This one thing is very wrong.
I want to see if they stand with it. Hold on, I want to see if they stand with the rest of us. Wait a second.
All right, I can't.
Oh, they do.
What's going on with Disney?
Disney. So a guy in the Orlando Sentinel. We got to move through these quickly because we'll never get out of here.
Yeah, because I'm gonna pass out.
I'm gonna have another 420 episode.
I need a rub down.
Guy in Orlando said, Janine, please save that talk for your husband later. Guy in the Orlando Sentinel says that Disney is becoming too woke for him.
Oh God.
Disney changed their they changed around their policy for employees. You used to only be able to have a certain haircut. You had to cover any tattoos that you had, so on and so forth. And now they're saying that employees can show tattoos. And this guy, what?
They should be able to show their tattoos. Come on.
You think so?
I think it's fine.
Unless they're obscene. I always thought so.
I feel like unless they're obscene, go for it.
I can't believe I'm on the other side of this issue. This is crazy.
You are?
This is crazy.
I'm surprised you are too.
Well, here's the thing. What I find particularly interesting, and this was this guy's point. He's basically saying that when you go to Disney World, you're there to immerse yourself in a fantasy show.
Okay.
In Disney, in folklore.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's like, when you do that, you don't expect to see certain things. And that certain things can, like take you out of it. And I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, but you're also dealing with real people. You're not dealing. You're in. Yeah, you're in Disney World, but real people run the show. I mean, it's like you have to interact with people.
I agree, but to me, I don't see any difference in Disney saying, "Hey, you got to cover your tattoos. You got to do." Look, I'm all for people. If somebody told me you got to cover your, I'd be, go fuck yourself, and I would leave. I wouldn't want to do
cover
that.
your eyebrows.
Exactly. Thank God we don't have those rules here on this show. But the point is that if you want to be there and you want to be a part of making people's vacations this magical thing, it's not about you and your individuality. You don't have to express your individuality in every single instance. In this particular case, you're there to put on a show and to be a part of the whole thing. I don't see a difference in you get cast in a movie, and then you go, well, I have to, show my tattoo in the movie. And they're kind of like, well,
there's certain things you have to follow. Right?
That's a difference. There's a difference there.
Is there though? Because even the guy who scoops the popcorn in Disney is a cast member, and it's all kind of part of the show. So it's kind of like
he's not Mickey. He's an employee. He's a guy scooping popcorn. He's playing the role of a guy scooping popcorn, which doesn't require tattoo or no tattoo. If he were playing, I don't know, a Disney, prince, then maybe he'd have to cover up his tattoo in order to be that role. But
all right,
he's playing.
Sir. I didn't want to have to go
guy.
Here. You're making me do this. I didn't want to have to do this.
Oh, believe me, I could have gone a lot of places in the last few stories.
You're dying.
A little bit.
You're dying.
He's definitely gonna bang out his wife tonight so hard.
You're dying, and this is by your own admission. Actually, the two of you have admitted on this show to wanting to go to the Star Wars land down there.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Now, it's this whole land. These people spend billions of dollars building up this cavernous that you can't see fucking anything. You have no idea you're on planet Earth when you're standing in this area.
Right.
They want to totally immerse you, get into the whole thing.
Immerse me up, baby.
You go to buy the blue milk and the fucking Star Wars popcorn.
I'm with you.
The guy that's scooping up the popcorn has a huge, massive MAGA Trump 2024 tattoo on his arm as he scoops up the popcorn.
Right.
That doesn't take you out of it?
Frank would throw up.
I'd probably go, ugh, and then I'd be done.
But that's this guy's point. The guy's point is like you don't want to be taken out of it. You want to be immersed in the thing. You have every right to have that tattoo. Yeah. You could show that tattoo, 16 out of the 24 hours. All they ask is that the little time you're there, cover the tattoo so that your all the families are happy.
So what if one of the fathers in the family has that tattoo and you look over and you see that guy's tattoo? What's the difference? If it's the guy standing next to you or if it's the guy scooping popcorn?
Mm-hmm. I think he's trying to say like it's part of the experience for the people.
If it's a character, if it's like a Jedi or something, then I would be like, all right, that's not.
Yeah, you can't see anything though on their body.
It could be. It's employees across the board.
But you're not going to see Mickey Mouse. You're not going to see tattoos on the guy.
You said Jedi.
Covered up.
You said Jedi.
Jedi.
It could be the Jedi.
Jedi, and they're playing their role the right way, then there shouldn't be tattoos.
With the
I get that. But if it's just some guy scooping popcorn or pouring soda, then who cares?
But now MAGA tattoo is a Jedi. That's not going to be like, you're not going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because he's not playing that role. But if it's
if
it's a popcorn guy,
you're talking put it in my column.
You're talking about the employees.
No, yes.
Talking about characters.
But Jedi is an employee. No, same employee. He can do whatever he wants now, according to the new Disney rules. He can show off his tattoos.
Ginny, if you gotta go.
Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor.
She is. She officially announced it. And for the love of God, man.
Now, Frank, what? Against? Opposed?
Against.
Really?
I am against people with zero political experience running for the high offices.
Sounds like you're anti-transgender, if you're asking me.
That is not what it is.
Just being a conscientious objector.
Okay. I'm against The Rock running for governor. I'm against The Rock running for president. I'm against...
Did he ever get the surgery? That's what I want to know.
I'm not sure.
I don't
But,
know if she got the surgery.
She.
Who's more woke on this show? Am I
There
right?
you go. I'm against Matthew McConaughey running for.
You have a
governor
cock,
of
you're a male.
Texas.
Janine, you're definitely going to hear about that.
I'm definitely going to say. By the way, wait. Speaking of cock, my daughter said instead of chalk, she says cock.
Who
And
taught her
I
that?
did not teach you that. I did not teach her that. I promise you.
That sounds like it came from you, and you're blaming it on innocent chalk. If I got to be honest with you.
Right.
Innocent cock.
Now let me ask you this, Frank: is she running as a Republican?
I believe so. Yes.
This is the great. I mean,
Wow.
the Republic. I think this is a Trump move. If I'm going to be totally honest with you, because nobody likes
Trump hate her.
fuck with the other side. The Republicans are doing the most woke thing you could possibly do, which is put a transgender person on a ticket, and it's California of all things. It's one of the biggest states.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Caitlyn's gonna win. Watch.
I mean, it's crazy. It's unbelievable how certain Republican policies are against transgender people, yet they're the first party that's getting behind a transgender candidate.
are they getting behind, or is it just?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
We don't
That's what
know
she
if
said.
they're
That's what she
supporting-
said.
We don't know if they're support. They're probably going to support her because she's Republican.
Caitlyn's definitely getting behind someone.
But
Hi-yo.
they'll support. They're going to support the Republican candidate probably, no matter what. But are they? I don't know if anybody. They could have. I have no idea if they threw their support behind her or not. All I know is that she officially announced that she's running.
It's not a good look for Democrats. I'll say that. They couldn't couldn't put their money where their
Can
mouth
you get a
was.
transgender there? Come on. Yeah, that's what she said.
There's a transgender head of the. I forget what the health organization. I forget what it is.
Yeah.
What she's in charge of, but yeah, they're there.
I just don't support any Kardashian running for anything.
I don't support
not.
celebrities who have zero.
Fucking Kim's gonna be Attorney General of California.
Oh, God.
But at least you know what? At least she's going to law school and she's
what?
being and she's training herself.
Yeah.
I fully support that. If she can do the job and she's trained, go for it. But someone who just decides out of nowhere, like I was a track star and then a reality star and then now I'm going to be governor just out of nowhere and I know nothing about
Governor.
politics. It's
Good enough.
I'm assuming she knows nothing about politics.
Yeah, you're taking a lot of big leaps here. I mean, between this
on the
sort
fact
of
that she's a
talk
celebrity.
and all the anti-transgender texts that you send all the time, I'm really starting to be concerned.
That's cute.
Thanks. You look good too, buddy. Anyway, 420 recap. We just came off the 420 show. How are you guys
I'm a
feeling?
little mad. I'm a little mad at you guys.
There's a little controversy here, Frank. I don't know if you know
What?
about this. A little controversy brewing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the first I'm hearing. What is this?
Go ahead, Janine. I'll let you take the floor.
So whenever we were talking about God, I think, right? Before I got cut off.
Right.
And then
Can I just
you were
stop?
very
I'm
happy.
sorry. Can I just stop you for a second? There's a link in the description of this episode to the highlights of the 420 show. We'll put it up in the cards
God.
too on YouTube. You can go
I
watch
have
it
to watch that.
and catch up. It's on our Clips channel, not on the main channel. So search Anthony on Air Clips, and that's only on YouTube. So if you're listening, it's only on YouTube. The 420 show was a 3-hour show. It's a lot. So if you want to just check out the highlights, they're all in bite-sized little. There's 4 highlights. You can go check that out on the Clips channel. Janine, I yield to you. I apologize for it.
So Frank was saying something, and then I made a face, or I said something. I forgot what I said, or whatever, and then I got cut off because my phone died. And then you said, "There is a God."
This one said that, number one.
No,
But I always said that there is a God, and the only reason I said there is a God if I said it after you got cut off was because you got cut off. Not that you left. It was because what you were saying got cut off. Not because you were.
okay,
you
so
were
I
off
still
the
take
show.
offense to that.
Not because what you were.
To that.
It would have been the same if your mic got cut off. Just because what you were saying got stopped. That's all. I wish you would have
That's
came
still
back on.
offensive.
I wish you would have came back on.
That's still offensive.
It was a joke, though. I didn't mean it seriously.
But then I caught that one over there, eyebrows, saying,
Uncalled for.
"Oh, I know."
Eyebrows.
Because he goes, oh, I know you were probably like, I'm great. Now this dumb idiot is gone.
Is that what you said?
Whatever. Yeah, go
Man,
back.
I must have been hammered.
Bitch.
That's him. That's all that way.
I know, and I was like, wait, what?
If I said anything,
back.
it was a joke. I
had to go back and listen to it again, and I was like, should I be offended? Wait, did you guys hear that?
I think because...
Did you guys hear that? I got offended. I'm not going to lie.
I think you were saying something along the lines of you were backing the anti-religion side?
No.
Were you not?
I'm not anti-religion. I think
what were you saying in that moment?
You were saying something about like treat your neighbors, thy neighbors, how you would want to be treated.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, Frank.
So why would you roll your eyes to that?
Just one guy up there going, whatever, however you got to get to me is fine.
At the core of it, there's that teaching that you have to be, treat your neighbors as you would want to be treated. It's just it's a matter of being morally responsible. Okay.
Are you saying teach your children well?
No, I get them from this one.
Feels like you're writing a Crosby, Stills, Nash
What's
and
the
Young
next
song.
topic? Move the arrow.
There is no next topic. The next topic is the end of the lower third.
The whole treat your neighbors thing, though. Here's my thing.
You have a problem with your... Tell me you didn't deserve that. Out of battery. If there wasn't a more proof of a God, then right there, boom, here's your proof. If you needed a more significant proof of God, that's it. Case closed. Wait a minute. Mic dropped. Boom. See? Tell me you didn't deserve that after that. I fucking love it. That was poetic justice right there. I think I was justified in this.
Wait for this.
Fantastic.
Wait for this cocksucker's response.
All I know is that was friggin' beautiful. Come on. I don't know about this guy. Tell me that wasn't great.
That's messed up. It's only great because I know in your head you were praying to God that she was trying.
I was not. I had no idea that was going to happen. I didn't think of that.
Wait.
But her battery ran out at the exact moment.
You weren't thinking, dear God, let this idiot shut up right now.
Not at all. I wanted to keep talking.
Ouch.
And there it was.
I thought we just...
Anthony, I think you have some explaining to do.
I don't think I did anything wrong there. I was simply interpreting Frank's demeanor.
You called me an idiot.
You called her an idiot.
That's what you called her in your head. I was interpreting that.
You came up with that on your own, my friend.
No. The look on your face was like, that's the look on your face.
I got a teeny bit offended.
I never said idiot. I never said anything like that. I never said you weren't smart.
Just
what I said.
You mouthed it.
No, I didn't.
Just like the look on your face right now is I wish this idiot with the eyebrows would shut up. I'm only here to interpret what you're putting out.
That you got right.
That
you got. Nailed it. Nailed that one. But no,
That's
all I was saying was from the from a point I was making.
Listen, the audience should thank me. I was the only one trying to entertain them and make jokes amidst the two of you talking about God knows what you were talking about.
I forgot.
Jokes
at
our expense was not nice.
Were you genuinely mad though at the idiot comment? Because you did pass a comment in the comments.
I don't blame her.
I had to go back and listen to it again.
I don't blame her.
Because I was like, please, anyone. Did you hear that?
I think you need to apologize.
Did you hear that?
You think I owe Janine an apology?
I think you do.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Don't apologize. Apologies are not fantastic.
They show weakness.
One day when I have 3 hours. Wait, one day when I have an hour and a half. Because I left at about an hour and a half. When I have another hour and a half, I'm going to go back and watch the whole thing. I mean, I watched bits and pieces of it, but...
Let me tell you something. Just go to the highlights channel. You'll save yourself a lot of time.
Right.
I think that Jesus and the Ninja Turtles was the funniest moment of the night.
To you it was, because you were high.
To anybody with a sense of humor. But
no.
I'm going to share this other clip because it's only a minute long, and it just shows how out of control Frank was throughout this whole episode.
Then nobody's going to go to the clips if you share it now.
Shut up.
That's true.
There you go. Case made, I guess.
Shut up, idiot.
Like I'm eating a Dave Matthews concert. We have some fun stoner topics to go over. Like, is there a God?
You just got a text message. There's similarities in all religions. There's a God. Treat each other right. people have rights, all this stuff.
I think that was a little. I think you threw the Constitution in there. I'm just saying. No. You snuck the Constitution in.
No. I don't mean rights. I mean like free will and just
We the people.
Inherent, just inherent things that we have as people.
You almost said Constitution again.
I did because I was drunk. What do you want from me?
You literally
That's
said
hysterical.
people have rights. That is not in the Ten
People do
Commandments.
have rights.
That is
That's
in the
that's
Bill of Rights.
hysterical.
You have the right to remain silent. You ass.
But the funniest moment, I'm telling you, Jesus and the Ninja Turtles, Frank goes, someone asked Jesus what his favorite commandment was. And I, in my state at the time, thought that statement was so fucking funny because I was like, what? Who asked
Thank you,
Jesus?
Janine. Thank you.
And I said Super Mario at first because that was the only cartoon character I could think of. But then I said, was it April O'Neil? She was a reporter. And I began to laugh. I was in hysterics for like 15 minutes.
Your poor wife.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You were the only one. I mean, I'm sure people were laughing in the comments and people watching because you were laughing. But the joke itself was out of nowhere and didn't make any kind of sense.
Because I was trying to prove that the story was bullshit, even though I believe in Jesus. So get off my back.
Oh God, are we going on for another hour and a half now?
Oh, not. But my point was I just said that the story was bullshit, and you were like, no. Somebody asked Jesus, and I was trying to illustrate how that through a cartoon character and.
Why would you think that story is bullshit? How do you know that's bullshit?
But you even admitted yourself in the talk that a lot of it's made up and it's not all real, and some of it's just there to teach us a thing and whatever. So
I don't know. I mean, I don't know for sure.
We're not here to rehash it again, Frank. Please, we we just did 3 hours of it. But that was the
you want to get an accurate view of my? Go back to the 420 show. Not you. I mean the audience.
Your view on God.
Yeah, if you want to get our accurate, somewhat accurate views, because we were all wasted in our own ways, then the 420 show is a good way to do that.
I will say that those gummies are something else, though. They are, they're no joke.
Did you enjoy yourself?
I would say I did. I did. I don't know. I don't know if I would. There was no. I will say this: I can't drink alcohol anymore. It's
really.
I'm too. It's too much.
I get the chills. If I have three or more drinks.
Do
what
you?
the hell was that?
Yeah.
While you're
it's
drinking,
weird.
or like the next day?
No, like hours later.
It's weird.
I know. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's
I
strange.
was like, come on.
You get colder, I guess, because your blood's thinner.
Yeah, but I'm never cold. Never.
That's true. I forgot you run super hot.
I do.
Yeah.
But would you do gummies again? Is this? I know, Anthony. I don't know if it was your first time, but is this like were you?
It was my first time not being
happy
dosed.
with it?
It was my first time expecting it. You know what? I honestly thought it was just fine. I'd do it again. I wouldn't be like dying for it.
Right.
It was a mellow, and I had fun. It was fun doing the podcast. There was obviously a lot of huge laughs. The audience, by the way, seemed to enjoy it. We've never done a 3-hour show. And by the way, the average viewing time was through the roof. Most people tune into radio or will watch a TV show for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We saw average, not everybody, average viewing times on that show above an hour. Like, that's insanity.
That is pretty good. Thank you for everyone who stuck around.
So grateful for that.
Some
It's
people
definitely probably after I left.
who hung
I mean,
around
Janine
for
didn't.
3
Janine
hours.
wasn't even on the show for an hour, so that just goes to show you the dedication of the audience.
Exactly. I'm surprised we lasted.
Maybe
that
she'll
long.
come back. Oh, they wanted me to come back. They wanted me to go back in.
People were dying for you to come back. We were hoping you were going to come back.
I know. No, I couldn't because
Couldn't
it's a
plug
stupid
in?
thing. No, because the problem is that I don't have a microphone. I mean, a headphone.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, anyway, I don't know if I would turn it down again. I don't know if I would like seek it again. I did enjoy it. I will say this: it was so much better than a night of drinking.
Yeah. Well, we'll see next Saturday.
I enjoyed the drinking.
Maybe or maybe not. You'll have a gummy in your fillet.
Gummy in your fillet?
In my fillet?
Yeah.
Oh, because we
Yeah.
have the party thing. We're going to a party.
Now that would be funny.
Another super spreader event. Now what do I do? I have to give you money for this. Did you buy this or was it your brother?
No, I'm not saying who got it. I'm gonna say my source.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can't reveal your source.
I mean your sister. But how much was something? What does that go for? Because I'm gonna Venmo the money to somebody. So
No, don't.
What's the
Venmo
average
money.
price?
You bought me all the stuff. No.
How much does a gummy go for?
I just need to know if I'm gonna give you cash money or your stupid sister cryptocurrency.
Cash money.
That's what I want to know.
I take only Bitcoin, please.
What is it?
You
What
only
is
Give
it?
me like 3 or 4 Bitcoin.
Give
what
her
is it?
non-fungible something or others.
Yeah. What's a
Give me a
package
fart.
like that run though? I mean, I don't know. I'm stupid. What? I don't know.
Well, it depends how many come in a package too. It could be $5 each
Per gummy or per package?
per gummy.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, this is the crazy. That was $5 for that. To get that feeling off of alcohol in New York City cost you $450. That's insane.
Yeah, that's true.
Gummy bars are going to become the new thing around here. Nobody's going to drink alcohol. Just going to put alcohol out of business.
I feel like they'll go out of business too. You get one, you're done. $5. You want people to spend $400
Well, the thing
in
is,
a bar.
people buy them in a pack. A pack could have 10 in there, could have 15 in there. So,
Right, but you only do one at a
And
time.
some of them are more, like some of them are, like different strains of
Right.
Right.
marijuana. So that
Well-
costs different too.
What would happen if you thought they were real gummy bears and you just ate them like
Oh, I
candy?
can't even
you
imagine.
had
Probably
like-
fall asleep.
And you
Probably
had
fall
like
asleep.
10 of them. It would just knock you out.
Yeah, I think you probably just fall
We're not
asleep.
advising that for people watching or listening. Don't try it.
So the interesting thing too was it took a long time to kick it. People were telling me a half hour. It was way longer than a half hour.
I thought it would be a half
I think
hour.
that's probably why we went for 3 hours.
But
That's what
the,
she said.
the more that
Boom.
it got, the more that time went on, the more I
Really gonna
felt
take
it,
Yeah.
which was
Were
kind
you
of
still
crazy.
feeling it after the show?
Oh yeah.
Or did it wear off?
No,
Still going?
until I went to sleep, felt it.
Did you and your wife fornicate that night?
Yeah.
Great. With each other?
Did you fall asleep? Did you fall asleep? Did you fall asleep?
No, but I will say, and I also ate too, and I will say it did
A
sort
hell
of
of a night.
heighten those sentences a little bit.
Sentences?
Senses.
Did you take one before this show?
Just took one half an hour ago.
Like I what was I eating? Like just like crackers
Speak
or
for a
something,
living,
and
right?
I was like, these are the greatest crackers I've ever tasted in my whole life. Like it was
Oh my god.
it was one of those things. I don't know how people now I know people that take that every single night. I don't know how they do that.
Mm-hmm.
It helps them sleep or something, right? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
calms you down? So your mind's not racing, I guess.
Bless your heart. I mean,
Did you feel numb?
I felt not
Were you-
not numb, but here's what would happen.
Were
I
you
would
comfortably numb?
I
You
would
pound your wife for 5 minutes.
No.
Fall asleep.
stop it.
Get back up.
I would feel like time was slowing down and
And
taking
you were still moving
forever.
fast.
And then I felt like 20 minutes just passed, like in an instant. Like it was weird how things were slowing and going faster and slowing. Like I had to pee so bad, so I left at one point, and poor Frank had to do the hero soap read.
That was fine. But you were back in like 12 seconds.
He
It was
said
so
you were
weird.
back in 30 seconds, and I said it on the show. I said I felt like I was in the bathroom for 45 minutes just now. It felt like forever.
All I did was talk about Hero Soap Company, and you were back.
And he
turned off
said
my
I was
light.
30 seconds. By the way, I timed it, and it was probably like 45, 50. It was around a minute. It wasn't what I thought it was at all.
So it wasn't what I thought it was either.
No, but I was
God.
way more off
I
than
think
you
I
were.
was probably closer. Yeah.
Yeah,
People in the comments were saying that you didn't wash your hands.
I washed, but I put a little soap. I did the little rinse, and then I didn't give it the 20
You
second
didn't do the COVID wash.
COVID prevention treatment. I admitted
Yeah. Your COVID's not gonna. I mean, your penis is not gonna have COVID on it. So
that. That's true.
Well, we hope.
That's true. I also don't use my hands when I pee. I just kind of lift my shirt up, pull my pants down, and I wiggle like this. I do the Macarena as I urinate.
I pull my shirt
my
up
husband
over
does
my
that
head.
too.
Janine, this was, I don't know what time it was for you, but does it feel the same every time, or is it like alcohol that you build up a tolerance for it?
I don't really do it that often, so I don't know about the tolerance part. But I mean, it depends on what type you take, so that will make you feel different. That will.
I have a lot of education.
One can make you go up, and then other one can make you go, and that's the one make you like fall asleep, and just be very.
Do you know what you're taking, or it's a crapshoot?
Usually the package will tell you.
Tells you this one.
And like when you buy it, like if you buy just regular marijuana, they'll ask you like, what kind do you want?
And I wouldn't even know how to answer that. I want the marijuana kind. The.
Well, it's indica or a sativa.
Sure.
Oh my God, I can't believe I know this. Good. I'm a big pothead right now.
Resident pothead right here.
People, I swear to God. So, yeah.
I don't know what those mean.
I'm worried about when you said the.
All I know is I went with someone once to buy it, and it was the weirdest experience because I should have said this in the 420 show. The person who I was with bought like 10 different kinds. This guy's house, beautiful house, and go in there. And the guy was like, I'm sorry. Me and my girlfriend are just in the middle of.
No.
Yeah.
That's a classy transaction.
If she runs out, I'm sorry. And I was like, what?
Come on.
He's going. And I'm talking about this person was in their 50s.
I'm picturing the scene from Pulp Fiction.
Nope.
Where they have to stab you in the chest with the needle.
Nope.
And he's in his underwear and robe.
Well, Frank, I made it.
Way to go.
We've all found ourselves in that situation where we're like, you kind of look around and you go, holy shit, I'm in the middle of a huge drug deal. This is crazy. I can't believe.
I don't think we've all found ourselves in that situation.
Oh, no? Okay.
I think you two are the only ones.
Never mind. You're right.
In this room.
I've been in that situation where I've been in a house and it took me like 10 minutes and I'm right around the third person that came into the house, went into the bedroom and then came out 4 minutes later. I was like, hold on a second here. I think major drug transactions might be happening. Yeah. I probably should go.
Was there a mattress on the floor with no bed frame? That's clue number one for you.
It was. And the funny thing is, the person who I was with got a red light ticket. It came in the mail a couple of weeks later, and he was like, I wasn't here. Like, no way. Like, he watched the video. Clearly runs the red light.
Oh, God.
But nope, I wasn't there. And then I'm like, we went this way for that. And he's like, yeah.
Were there a lot of porcelain statues in the house?
Yes, there was weird things in there, but nice. I don't know how to describe it.
Is there a leather couch?
Well,
I've got a
there
very
was leather. I think it was white. I think it was white leather. The couch.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
You're being very judgmental right now, Frank, and I don't particularly appreciate it.
No, I'm not judgmental. I have a picture in my head. I'm trying to paint the picture, and it's stereotypical. It's from movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to see how well it matches up.
I'm not surprised about your attitude because I know how you speak about transgender people when the microphones are off. So this is all just, like I said earlier.
Caitlyn Jenner.
That's hilarious.
This is all just par for the course.
I love all people.
On that note.
We'll leave it there. Appreciate you guys watching and or listening. Go check out the playlist for the 420 highlights.
Do it.
Anthony on Air Clips channel. Something will pop up if you're on YouTube. If you're listening, go over to anthonyonair.com, get the links. And I hope you guys have a great whatever. And we'll catch you on the next one.